This is really, really exciting to be looking out and seeing, you're going to hear the term GreenBuild Nation all week. And when I look at you all, I am seeing GreenBuild Nation, the authentic GreenBuild Nation. You are the guys who do this every day. You are the guys who struggle locally to try to make ends meet, to try to make some political, God, I've been using the word bonehead a lot lately, but someone try to understand what should seem so common sense, putting kids in a green school or some other silly thing like that that just is going to change the way that generations think about their lives from now on. And you are the ones that do that, and I can't thank you enough for that. This is a very exciting time. As an organization, I think we are all poised for some big changes in the years ahead. Rob Watson showed me a long time ago. In fact, when I was in business school, I think I heard this, but I missed the class that he explained it about. It was called Jumping the Chasm, and it's a simple bell curve. And as an organization has success and growth and energy, it climbs the bell curve. And at a certain point, let's say you're 80, 90% to the top of the bell curve. If you're a smart organization, you decide what you need to do to advance yourself as a movement and an agenda, to not crest the top of the bell curve and maybe gently or somewhat abruptly slide down the other side. But what you do with that 80, 90% of the curve is you jump the chasm, which means you begin to reinvent yourselves. You think about what you could do differently, how you could attract different members, different markets, how you could advance the agenda through social media tools and things that today are becoming more and more commonplace. But I think collectively, if we think in terms of right now, in 2013, we're at the 85% part of that curve. We need to make this jump. We will jump, by the way, not to the top of another curve, but probably to the bottom third of the other curve. And we will again do that steady rise up. But that, if we don't do that, we make the mistake that organizations and businesses have made for centuries. They don't really understand. They feel so good about the success they've achieved. They love the fact that they're able to attract possibly the next president of the United States to speak at their conference. They love the fact that, a band like Bon Jovi is playing. They love all this, and they let it go to their heads. And what we need to do is never let that happen. Those things are a part of our collective success. Those are signals that we're doing something right. But what we have to do at this moment in time is reinvent who we are and what we are. I learned a quote from, they attributed to Willis Carrier years ago in my days at Carrier, but it was always strive to obsolete your greatest triumph. And if you think about it in terms of, look at how great we've done, but we need to do more. We need to do it differently. We need to engage different populations. We need to grow global. We need to do all of these things. So we're getting ready to crest that curve, folks. And with you and with your support and with all of the great energy that we're amassing and that we'll talk about here this week, we're going to jump that chasm. And we're going to have, I believe, a very soft landing so that we can get to work on the next 20 years of growth and inspiration and activity to change the lives of future generations. So that doesn't happen without you, and I appreciate every single thing you do in every corner of the United States that you do it, and outside of our boundaries as well. What I'd like to do now is, I want to do two things. I'm going to bring out our next speaker, but I also want to, I look at that old song, Son of a Preacher Man. And it's a great song, and we're all struggling. Anybody know who sang that? Dusty Springfield. Heather, I was right wherever you are. Thank you very much. Anyway, great song, but the daughter of a preacher man, our Kimberly Lewis, is someone that every single day I am more and more inspired by, and what her energy does to bring a connective force to our chapters, from my perspective, it is unbelievable. You don't get that opportunity to get someone as passionate and connected as that in a job that is so critical and important. So I just want to give our Kimberly Lewis a huge round of applause. She is the proverbial rock star. And speaking of rock stars, I would like to introduce our new chair-elect, this handsome devil, George Bandy, to come to the podium and tell you a little bit about the world as he sees it. George, thank you all. We'll see you many times this week.